Hi, I'm Asia and I'm a dog trainer, and I am here today to talk about leash walking and what to do when there is a crazy dog that is coming at us, or people coming like Frankenstein at us, and it's setting off our dog and feels like it's setting all the progress back that we've been making on our leash walking training. If you are a pet parent of a dog or several dogs who are interested in topics like this and everything about pet parenthood, and getting through training, which of course is a lifelong process, then like and subscribe and tune in for more content with me. So why do I want to talk about this today? So basically daily I hear about it from my dog training clients. So leash walking is a big topic in my office, just because when we can get our dogs walking nicely on a leash, one, it makes the day so much better, especially around here where a lot of folks don't even have yards, so they can't just turn the dog loose in the back. But even for folks that do have yards, with a fence around it, or an electric fence or something, then it's still, walks are still a great way to just like get together with your dog, like have a nice outing together, do some bonding, do some sniffing around. There's a lot of nuance to why I am very pro walking with your dog, aside from the exercise component as well. So since we're all working on that with our dogs in my office, I hear about it, like I said, pretty much every day, about like, all right, so we're doing so great. They're celebrating their wins. They're telling me about how things are progressing and getting better and better and better on walks. But there's this dog down the road, or there's a new neighbor, or one of the snowbirds came back and has a new puppy who's a crazy maniac on the leash every time we walk by. It sets off the dog that's in training. What do we do? So that is something that I'm very passionate about, because I don't want people to be having to over accommodate to essentially a scenario with another dog, or a person without a dog even, who just doesn't understand dog body language and doesn't understand the importance of the leash walking training process and respecting what this client is investing in with their dog. So of course we want to be mindful of the relationship between neighbors, of the relationship with potentially new friends who are coming up to us to interact about our dog. But there's a way to do it that still can, essentially put a boundary around what you're investing in with your dog. So I just want to encourage you on that. So an example of this would be just having the person that wants to come up with the crazy dog who's running around, oh, he's friendly, like can they meet? You can just basically go with your gut. If you're feeling a little off about it, guess how your dog's feeling, because dogs are even more intuitive than we are, or at least they let themselves feel it more deeply than we do a lot of the time. So if you're feeling weird about it, dog's not feeling good about it. So I strongly encourage you to figure out some way to just assert in a polite way. You can even use body language. I love body language for dogs, body language for humans. I'm so sorry, but we're actually training right now, and so we're not at the place where we can be meeting yet. Maybe in a couple months, maybe in a couple weeks, whatever you want to say, or just be like, no, I'm sorry, we're training, see you later, like another time or whatever. There's really no way to make that scenario work, even if you have a fully trained dog. If a dog is coming up to you that's all bouncing everywhere, it's basically the same as if some person came up to you really drunk at an event and is just like putting their hands all over you, like, hey, are we friends? I don't really know anybody who's going to be like, yeah, this is great. So just think of it that way. It's not polite. It's not friendly. It's nothing good. It's actually quite aggressive, and it's actually quite rude. So, it's not up to us to tell other people like, actually your dog's being really rude. Like, don't get into all that. At least not in that moment. Maybe if you see them later, you can be like, hey, did you know that dogs actually like kind of can interpret that as a problem, and it might actually cause a dog to try to bite at your dog. You can figure out a nice way to say it. But maybe not in the moment, because it's more important to just kind of get on in a way in those moments, in my opinion. And sometimes it can just feel like one after another. Hey, can our dogs meet? And it's like another crazy So I hear from a lot of my clients like, gosh, I feel like I'm walking at 4 a.m. all the time because I just don't want to deal with everybody. I feel you. As somebody who is a pet parent of an adorable dog that everybody feels like they want to interact with, it can get exhausting being like, no, sorry, no, thank you. No, he's not in the mood right now. No, thank you, But you can kind of just get in your little rhythm. This is part of pet parenthood. We get in our rhythms of, all right, we have our routine in the morning for getting fed. We have our routine for potty. Now we have a routine for how do we politely engage with our neighbors, but still protect ourselves and our dogs in our training progress. So the big question is, so when can we meet on leash? Well, the secret to that is it takes 2 to tango. So yeah, our dog might be brushed up and like really good after a couple months of like, we're doing it, like leash walking is going great, reactivity is near 0, we're good. But if that other dog is still coming up all drunk person at the party status, it's a powder keg, folks. It's just, even the best trained dog is going to be like, I don't like this. And the more that they feel like they need to be going like this, eventually they're just going to be like, stop it. And that's where we get the dog snips and like the little bites where people are like, well, she never bit at anybody before. Well, here's your moment if you want it. So let's not put them in that position, is my encouragement. I'm all about stopping and talking to the neighbors, but let's do it in a nice, organized, and peaceful way, please. When people are just wanting to outlet their wildness onto you, that is not a moment that's going to be fun to stop and chat with the crazy, bouncy bean on a leash next to us who can't get it together. So it's kind of, people will figure it out. If nobody's going to stop and talk to them, or every time that they stop and talk, it turns into like a tangled leash madness, hopefully it inspires them to take the steps that you've taken to learn how to get their dog to be more calm on a leash. So a big technique that I encourage in these training moments where we're kind of in that in between of like reactivities at 0 and we just started leash walking stuff is, don't be shy about kind of like pulling off to the side and giving some threshold distance. Maybe it's 10 feet, maybe it's 20 feet. You know your dog and you know you. But again, trust your instinct, trust what you feel. If it feels like it's too close, back up another 10 feet. Maybe change the walk route a little bit so that if it's going to be really crowded in one area, there's a way to kind of bypass through that a little differently, or just walk very, very, very close to your dog and practice just doing a lot of kind of periodic sitting, a lot of kind of sitting off to the side and observing all the madness go by. See how you feel, just kind of roll with it. Take deep breaths and use it as an opportunity as best as you can to really practice what you're learning with your trainer, or with me if I'm your trainer. The biggest thing is I want to encourage you to protect yourself, protect your dog. Yes, we want to be connecting with our neighborhood, but not at the expense of everything that we've invested into getting leash walking and getting our dog feeling comfortable. So I hope that helps you. There is one more little piece of this. What do we do when the other dog breaks free from their person? The leash breaks, the person drops the leash, or the person isn't even using a leash and the dog comes bolting at us. Terrifying. Those moments are heart-stopping for many of us. I would encourage having something such as the pet corrector, which is a little compressed air, kind of like makes a big loud noise without harming anybody. Don't put it right up against the skin of a dog. It does come out very cold. You can get those at pet retailers. You can get them online. I'll actually put it up on my Amazon shop. And the link for that is in my show notes. But that is something that can at least like kind of create some distance and be like, it's like a really loud no, sort of. Of course, if there's like wild animals and things like that where you live, we have, panthers, we have bobcats. Alligators, just don't even go near the water, please. Everybody stop going near the water with your dogs. They run fast, okay? The alligators do. They don't care if you have compressed air coming out of a can, by the way. Only mammals seem to, or birds. Random side note in Florida. Yeah, that seems to be a pretty good tool. Of course, if you have some of these bigger animals, the bobcats and whatnot, then you might want to invest in something a little louder or scarier, like some pepper spray or some sort of a air horn or something. You're like, use your best judgment, read the dog mom, dog dad blogs, and see what's recommended out there. But keep yourself safe, please, and keep your dog safe. And be really mindful where you're walking. If we're walking through a really wooded, forested area, maybe dawn and dusk aren't the best times to do it, when big animals are hunting the most, stuff like that. So anyway, so that's all my kind of brain dump on that, and I hope that helps you. I know that walking is a real point of excitement. It's a real point of like big successes. It can also be a big point of stress for a lot of pet parents. So take heart. We're all working on it all the time. Training is a lifelong process. Lean hard on your trainers, and just keep on doing the good work of being the best pet parent you can and loving your dogs well. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.